Hello, investors. Wishing you all a joyful and prosperous day. To start this video, I'd like to extend my congratulations to everyone who has purchased crypto at attractive prices. For those who secured positions at favorable price levels, I recommend continuing to hold, as there are no signs of distribution yet. Therefore, it's prudent to maintain your positions and aim for higher profits as anticipated. To respect your time, let's dive into the crypto chart analysis. First, we can observe that the crypto market is showing strong performance and is in an uptrend. However, due to a recent trading session that formed an unfavorable hammer candlestick, it has created some uncertainty among investors. Many have speculated that a correction to the $100 price level might be necessary to retest that support zone. However, this is merely a hypothesis with no confirmed basis. Personally, I believe that a correction back to that level would require significant time to rebalance and return to the current price, which is highly unlikely. The current price range serves as the equilibrium zone for BTC, as it needs to consolidate to neutralize the impact of the previous hammer candlestick. Therefore, I advise investors to wait for at least 2 confirmations of supply and demand dynamics before entering a new buying phase. From my investment perspective, buying at high levels is less safe. I prefer entering positions in accumulation zones with reasonable prices, where there are signs of institutional accumulation and minimal price volatility, which is ideal for opening new positions. However, when BTC reaches elevated levels, many investors are tempted to buy at high prices, which carries the risk of buying at a major peak. For those who prefer trading at high price levels, exercise caution and closely monitor the order book to make timely decisions, especially knowing when to sell if necessary. I always emphasize that investors who bought at attractive prices in accumulation zones should hold their positions tightly to maximize profits. Currently, there are no signs of distribution, so it's advisable to avoid selling at this time. In a hypothetical scenario where BTC fails to consolidate effectively and begins to decline, I urge you to follow my videos regularly for updated insights and better decision making. Next, let's take a look at ETH. Observing the chart, it's truly remarkable, isn't it? The price has been rising strongly, and I congratulate those of you who are holding firm for the benefit of your portfolios. As I mentioned in my previous video, I believe your portfolios still have room to grow. As you can see, the price has been performing exceptionally well, and I encourage you to remain patient to maximize your profits. For investors looking to open new buy positions, I advise against it at this moment. During this uptrend, ETH could experience sudden intraday reversals, which may lead to losses, especially for less experienced investors who might get caught up in the excitement of the order book. For those who prefer day trading, buying and selling within the session, recommend waiting for a solid accumulation zone to confirm the next trend before entering trades. You can then buy and sell within the session based on your preferences. However, for retail investors aiming for medium-term holding, I don't recommend buying at this stage. As retail investors, you should focus on entering at optimal price points for holding to achieve high returns while ensuring the safety of your portfolio. At ETH's current price, breaking out immediately is challenging due to significant resistance. 2 scenarios are possible. If the price surges above the previous high, ETH may require additional time to consolidate before continuing its trend. Alternatively, it could accumulate at the current price level to shake out retail investors before confirming the next trend, which would be the most favorable outcome. On this note, I also offer consultation services to share insights on entry and exit points for the stocks you're holding. If you've entered at the wrong time or opened a position at an unfavorable level, feel free to reach out to me for personalized advice to optimize your portfolio's profitability and focus on strong assets. Additionally, if you're considering buying any specific stock, I'm happy to provide guidance to help you make informed decisions. Next, let's take a look at the ton chart. With this chart, we can see a very promising upward trend. Isn't it great? I've mentioned many times before that institutional investors have been accumulating at the price levels of $6.2 and $7.2. Therefore, it's an excellent opportunity for everyone to open a buy position when it retests these levels. For those who have followed my videos from a few weeks ago, if you bought in at that time, you're now seeing some pretty good profits, right? So, please make an effort to watch my videos so I can provide you with information to help you invest more effectively. Looking at Tran's chart, we can see that the current zone still needs some consolidation before a breakout, because it's facing a resistance zone. Typically, any stock or Bitcoin-related asset encountering a resistance zone needs time for a technical pullback before confirming the continuation of the. That's why I remind everyone to carefully observe before opening new buy positions for your portfolio. There's also a possibility that Tran could break out immediately and then consolidate later, but that scenario is quite unlikely. We need to keep monitoring it closely. Let's now take a closer look at the XBRP chart. It's quite remarkable to observe how institutional participation has contributed to upward momentum in the price action. This kind of sustained accumulation by larger market players is certainly a positive signal for long-term sentiment. However, despite the bullish outlook, it's crucial to exercise caution when considering entries at the current elevated price levels. From an investment standpoint, it is never advisable to chase a rally, especially after a strong upside move. Timing and entry levels are critical components in capital preservation and long-term portfolio success. Before initiating any new position, one must always assess the risk-reward profile and determine whether the potential upside justifies the inherent risk involved. At this stage, in situations like this, where the asset may already be overextended, we must ask ourselves, is this truly a calculated investment or merely a speculative gamble? These are the questions that prudent investors consistently ask to protect their capital and make informed decisions. As such, my personal recommendation grounded in risk management is to avoid initiating new long positions at the current price range. For those who were able to accumulate XBRP at lower, more attractive price levels, it is advisable to continue holding your positions and monitor for further upside potential. These investors are now in a favorable position to benefit from ongoing bullish momentum, possibly locking in higher profits. As the trend unfolds, in our investment group, we have members who entered XBRP during earlier consolidation phases and have achieved impressive returns to date. Many of them continue to hold their positions, reflecting their confidence in the long-term potential of this asset. However, for new investors, patience is key. Waiting for a healthy pullback or a better technical setup would offer a much safer and more strategic opportunity to enter. Next, let's take a look at the BNB chart. Yes, BNB is clearly demonstrating a very impressive upward trend. Congratulations to those of you who followed my previous video and managed to enter at an excellent price level. What a great position that was. The buy zone occurred right when the market was retesting the supply-demand area, just before BNB experienced a breakout. This move appears to have been driven significantly by institutional buying, creating a clean and strong price surge. For those who entered at that point, I recommend continuing to hold your positions, as the technical setup still supports a bullish outlook. As for opening new long positions right now, I would advise against it. Despite my personal belief that BNB could potentially stage another strong upward move in the future, I don't think that moment has arrived just yet. At current price levels, there is no clearly defined buy zone, and therefore, cannot suggest any new entries at this time. Likewise, I am not providing any immediate sell zones either. My recommendation is simply to hold your positions if you are already in profit. Congratulations once again. Manage your positions wisely and aim to maximize your returns by riding the trend for as long as possible. Next, let's take a look at the chart of SOL. Similar to many other assets, SOL still requires additional time to accumulate and consolidate before confirming its next trend direction. Currently, the price is facing a major resistance zone, which makes an immediate breakout highly unlikely. Therefore, for those who entered from lower price levels, I recommend continuing to hold your positions. However, when it comes to opening new buy positions, in my personal view, it would be wise to wait. We need to observe more positive signals from Sol, particularly how the price reacts at this key resistance area, before making any new entries into our portfolios. Congratulations to investors who managed to buy at attractive levels earlier. Holding your position could yield further profits as the market develops. Next, let's take a look at the Doge chart. As we can observe, much like other altcoins that follow Bitcoin's trend, Doge also requires a period of consolidation before any clear trend confirmation can be made. In my opinion, at the current price level, there is no suitable setup for opening new buy positions. That said, investors who entered at lower levels may continue to hold their positions and potentially benefit from future gains. Congratulations to those of you who are already in profit. I sincerely hope all investors are able to build a strong and well-diversified portfolio with the assets you're currently holding. Regarding the coins mentioned above, these are, of course, my personal opinions. If you believe there are better buy zones or have identified superior entry points, feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. I'm happy to respond and engage in further discussion. Additionally, if you're currently holding any tokens or stocks that are underperforming, or if you're unsure about your entry point, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be glad to help analyze your position and offer insights you can learn from. Please keep in mind that all of the above represents personal viewpoints and does not constitute financial advice. I fully respect that each of you, as smart and independent investors, understands your own strategies, risk tolerances, and portfolio needs better than anyone else. So, remember to stay healthy and take care of yourself, because sound decision-making starts with a clear and focused mind. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye for now.